November 1930. An exhausted trapper reaches an Inuit village he knows well, on the shore of a lake in the Canadian Arctic. The fires are still burning, the pots are still full, but there is no one left. Not one footprint in the fresh snow. And that is not the strangest part. The night desk is open. Case number 1, the village that may never have existed. We will retrace the facts, weigh the theories, and set aside what cannot be proven. At the end, you decide. Angikuni Lake lies in what was then Canada's Northwest Territories, a vast frozen land nearly empty of people. According to the press of the day, a trapper named Joe Lebel had worked this region for years and knew its camp. One detail rarely mentioned, in 1930, this region was starving. Caribou were scarce. Entire camps were moving to survive. Remember that, November then. Lebel approaches the village at dusk, expecting the usual noise, dogs barking, smoke, voices. Nothing. Total silence. He walks into the camp, and what he finds there, according to his account, defies all logic. Cooking fires still smouldering, pots left over the flames, their meals scorched black, someone left in the middle of dinner. Inside the tents, everything is in place. The clothes, the supplies, and above all, the rifles. No one in the Arctic leaves camp without a rifle in the middle of winter. It is a matter of survival. Then, 2 darker discoveries. By the shore, the kayaks are still there, battered, he says, by the waves. And at the edge of the camp, 7 sled dogs, still tied to their stakes. Dead, starved, no one untied them. Lebel reaches a telegraph post and alerts the mounted police. A patrol is said to have confirmed it. The village was empty. No bodies, no tracks, no witnesses. Around 30 people gone. The story breaks on November 29, 1930. The byline belongs to a Canadian journalist named Emmett Kelleher. Within days, the story crosses the continent. So, what happened? Theory 1. A real disappearance. An entire village does not simply vanish, and yet no search ever found a trace. The abandoned rifles, the dogs left tied, nothing about it looks voluntary. But no names, no bodies, no grieving families, ever. Theory 2, the village simply moved on. These were semi-nomadic communities, and 1930 was a famine year. It fits what historians know, but it explains neither the rifles left behind nor the sacrificed dogs, if those details are true. Theory 3, the whole story was invented. In January 1931, the mounted police issued an official denial. No missing village, no case. And according to police files, Kelleher had a reputation for embellishing bush stories to sell to the southern paper. The case should end there. It does not. In 1959, a bestseller revived the story, and 30 villages became more than 1,000. Each decade added new details, opened graves, blue lights in the sky. None of it appears in the original article. All of it unverified. Second anomaly, Joe Lebel himself. He claimed to be a seasoned trapper. The records show no trapping license in his name before 1930. And read the account again. Kayaks battered by waves on an Arctic lake that should have been frozen solid in November. Here is the exhibit. The photograph that illustrated the 1930 article, supposedly showing the ghost village itself. It was taken 21 years earlier by another photographer, somewhere else entirely. The only visual evidence in this case is a lie. The solid facts. One article, one official denial, one recycled photograph. Everything points to a press legend born on the blank page of the far north. Mechanism number 1 on file, the press that invents. Remember it. It will not be the last. And yet, no one can say for certain who lived by that lake, or where they went. Can a village disappear twice? Once in the snow, once in the records. The desk stays open, and there are 9 more files on it. Subscribe, the next one opens soon.